Imagine discovering priceless art in a dimly lit, shabby apartment, broken into pieces. This is the story of Dominique de Menil and the Byzantine frescoes. On a hot June day 13 years ago, Dominique de Menil flew to Munich to meet a Turkish businessman named Aydin Dikmen. Dikmen led them to a working-class neighborhood, far from the elegant setting they expected. In a dimly lit apartment, illuminated only by 2 candles, they saw the frescoes, crude, broken, and heartbreaking. Mrs. de Menil was sickened by the sight, comparing it to a miserable human being that has to be brought to the hospital. Determined to rescue the frescoes, she embarked on a decade-long restoration journey. Her son, Francois, an architect, was commissioned to design a chapel in Houston to house the restored frescoes. But the frescoes had a dark secret: they were stolen, and Mrs. de Menil had been deceived. Despite the controversy, she decided to buy them, sparking a debate about their rightful home. Many saw her as the savior of the frescoes, while others believed they should be returned to their homeland. Mrs. de Menil, born into the wealthy Schlumberger family, had always been curious and passionate about art. Her collection, housed in the Menil Collection in Houston, is of international stature. Her fascination with Byzantine art led her to acquire one of the finest collections in the country. The antiquities trade is a shady business, and it was inevitable she would encounter artifacts of questionable provenance. In 1983, she heard about the Byzantine frescoes from a London art dealer, Yanni Petsopoulos. The frescoes were from a tiny medieval church, depicting Christ Pantocrator and the Virgin Mary. Despite the poor condition of the frescoes, Mrs. de Menil saw their potential and arranged to see them in Munich. Meeting Dikmen and his associate, she realized they were dealing with seedy characters. Despite suspicions about the frescoes' origins, she paid earnest money to secure the right to buy them. Back in Houston, she sought legal advice and conducted a search for the frescoes' true owners. The frescoes were traced back to a small church in northern Cyprus, stolen during the Turkish invasion. Faced with a dilemma, she decided to negotiate with the Cypriot government and the Church of Cyprus. She paid a ransom to Dikmen, securing the frescoes' temporary stay in Houston. Restoration expert Lawrence Morocco spent almost 4 years painstakingly restoring the frescoes. In 1988, the restored frescoes were flown to Houston, ready to be housed in the new chapel. The Byzantine fresco chapel, designed by Francois, is a blend of modern and traditional elements. The chapel's design reflects the desecration and resurrection of the original church in Lizzie. The frescoes, now vibrant and whole, are a testament to the meticulous restoration work. The chapel will be consecrated as an Eastern Orthodox church, preserving the frescoes' religious function. The agreement with the Church of Cyprus allows the frescoes to stay in Houston for 20 years. Experts believe Mrs. de Menil did a great service by reuniting and restoring the frescoes. Join us in celebrating the rescue and revival of these priceless works of art. From ruin to resurrection, the Byzantine Fresco Chapel.